Yesterday we met in North Charleston City Hall in large part because of the work of Marlon Kimpson, our senator, and Elliott Summey, the chairman of our county council. And we wanted to ask Elliott to come to make his comments to you. Members of the press, we will promise that if you would give us your contact information in addition to all that we have. And where's Sister Trudy Grant? Trudy Grant is here. If you give her your card, your email address, that we will give you the lineup. We know you want to be able to tell the truth about who spoke, that you don't call me Nelson, that you would call me Reverend Nelson Rivers III. You won't call Marlon just Marlon. You would call him Senator Kimpson. And as much as we call Elliott, he does have a title. He's chairman of the county council. So we want to make sure that you know, for everyone from Pastor Nancy Faden, I see Steve Benjamin, I got a special introduction from him because he was on television last night and I saw him. He is the mayor of Columbia, South Carolina. And when we get to the mayor, we're going to ask that Mayor Benjamin, when we get to that, as our host, to welcome us, and we'll have the mayor of North Charleston. I spoke to the mayor of Charleston this morning, and how unique it is that the three largest cities in South Carolina, all three of the mayors, all three of the cities have said it's time to take the flag down. All right. So put your hands together for Elliott Summey, the chairman of the county council in Charleston County.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lord have mercy, it's hot. And I'm so proud that our citizens don't care about the heat. They don't care if it's raining. We don't care. We just want this flag down. It's time for South Carolina to get past its history. History belongs in a place. It belongs in a museum, not on sovereign ground. And we're coming together as one people. Friday night, Reverend and I were together at TD Arena, and we said Charleston could be a light to the world to show how in South Carolina, if we can get past the things that divide us, to show us how it makes us better, the whole country can do it. We are the example of how the rest of the country is supposed to act, and how we're supposed to communicate, and how we're supposed to love each other. I want to applaud Governor Haley for her bravery. I know it wasn't something easy to do. Every one of us has prayed over this situation, and we know where the Lord wants us to be. And the Lord don't want that flag flying on our State House grounds.
Yes, sir.
It's time for the Senate and the House to act, and if they don't do it today, the word will be that we'll be back. And we're going to keep coming back until that flag is down and put in the museum. It's time for South Carolina to show the world who we are as a people. God bless you. Thank you for coming, and let's keep it going.
Thank you. You can do better than that. Give him a hand clap of praise. He's a young leader. He's a young leader in training, and we are proud that he showed his conviction. We want to accelerate now to our members of the General Assembly. I wanted to lift them up as a group, and then Senator Kimpson will come on behalf of the Senate, and if they have time, we'll ask Brother Wendell Gilliard to come after that on behalf of the House. But I wanted to have us recognize this courageous group of women and men who sit and fight in this building every day when they're here, sometimes uphill, trying to do what is right. One of the bright stars in this building, and there are many, is one from Columbia, who now resides in Charleston. And when he came to Charleston to run for the Senate, some people said that he was a come-ya, and they didn't want to vote for a come-ya. I had to remind them that everybody I know in Charleston is a come-ya from somewhere. And so we're so glad that this come-ya is now a been-ya. Why don't you welcome the one and only Senator Marlon Kimpson. Give him a hand clap of praise.
Fired up!
Fired up!
Fired up!
Ready to go!
Fired up!
Ready to go!
Fired up!
Ready to go!
Guide me, O great Jehovah. I'm pilgrim in this barren land.
We'll try to preach too.
I am weak, but thou art mighty. Hold me with your powerful hand. Bread of heaven, bread of heaven, feed us till we won't no more. Give yourselves a hand. Let me just take a moment to applaud these elected officials. We got Republicans and Democrats working together to end hate and division in the state of South Carolina, and we ought to all give them a round of applause. On my way in this morning, I called Mayor Benjamin to let him know that we were going to have this demonstration so that the citizens could petition their government for 2/3 to bring down the Confederate battle flag from the front of the State House. And Mayor Benjamin indicated that he was on his way and he would be here. And so I'm so happy to see my good friend and church brother, Steve Benjamin. And I just got stopped by Senator Tom Davis from Beaufort. He's probably making his way up, but Tom Davis is a leader in the Republican Party, and he has assured me that we can count on him today to reach 2/3. Now, let me just take a moment to explain where we are procedurally, because that's very important. I applaud the governor of this great state for her position yesterday. I applaud the United States senators for coming along to this position, and we value their support. But I want to be clear. It will take 2/3 of both bodies to get the sine die resolution amended so that we can take this issue up. So I don't want you to lose the momentum. We are not done yet. We need you calling. We need you marching. We need you praying. If our ancestors could use postage stamps and AM radios to communicate, now we have social media, iPods, iPads, Kindle Fires, Twitter. Everybody should come down to this State House today while we petition our government to remove the flag from the front of the State House. Now, the other way you can accomplish getting this matter up for debate on the Senate floor is unanimous consent motion. A unanimous consent motion is a motion where a member of the Senate rises and petitions the president to go directly to any bills introduced to deal with this issue. Quite frankly, that's the better way as opposed to sine die. So we want you to be clear. We go unanimous consent or sine die, but either road we travel, we want this business to be dealt with before we leave session, and you, the people, are speaking. Yeah. There are a lot of my colleagues behind me. I see I'm joined by Senator Kevin Johnson from Clarendon and a number of other senators. Any other senators back here? Ronnie Sabb from Williamsburg. And we're going to have a lot of House members speak as well. But let's thank these people because the work is yet to be finished. And we need to count on everyone to use every fiber of their being to petition the government. If our ancestors could march, then certainly you can pick up the telephone, use Twitter, and all of the social medias. So we're counting on you to send a loud, resounding message. And we are counting on people of goodwill, of all races, of all creeds, of all religion, to bring unity so that we can say unequivocally and without fear of contradiction that it is a great day in South Carolina. Thank you so very much.
I'm waiting on the great day. We do have Representative Mitchell here will come and share some action that was just taken that we need to know about as an alert. And then members of the General Assembly, if Representative Gilliard will come after him, and if you have to go vote, we'd rather you go take care of our business than talk to us now. We'll meet you in the Senate. We'll meet you in the House. If you really need us to act up, we'll meet you on the floor. But we want to now ask Representative Mitchell to come and share some news, some breaking news about what just was done by members of the General Assembly on our behalf. Representative Mitchell.
Thank you. It's been 54 years since any real action was taken. Just recently, members of the House pulled together to look at amending the sine die resolution so that we can take this bill up. You have to have an amendment to the sine die resolution. That was done. So now we're going to be able to take, hopefully, this bill up. Then we have another one where we're going to actually try to remove the 2/3 vote so that we can look at a simple majority.
All right now.
Now we've been told that there are other compromises, but we're going to keep pushing until something is done. We do not need to wait for January. No. We can't wait for January. There have been too many people to say, wait, it's a time of mourning. After 9/11, what did we do with the terrorists? Did Congress shut down? No, they operated. That's the exact same thing we need to do. We need to move now. We need to move swift. We can't wait, and we're not going to wait. Thank you.
Is Representative Gilliard here? Let's give a round of applause to this young warrior on behalf of the people, Representative Wendell Gilliard.
First of all, I want to say to everybody the sound of my voice, I stand here today with my colleagues from the House and from the Senate, knowing that as a black man, that my ancestors came from Africa through the Middle Passage, through the Caribbeans, and to the Newfoundland. And then God took us away from the cotton fields to the White House. I stand here today to tell you that. But then, even further, along the way, one man laid down his life to make me and many of us in the world understand that we are all brothers and sisters in the sight of God. One man. I stand here today to tell you this man, this man was the black Moses of the world. And he inspired the world to walk hand in hand. And he told you to love one another. And then he told you why. Because if it were not for the SCLC, the NAACP, the Rainbow Coalition, the National Action Network, Coalition for Change to take our community back, Black Lives Matter, because God knows all lives matter. It's good that we get out here, and this is good for the soul. This is good to show the world what we are about in South Carolina. But let me remind you, just a few feet behind you, there are thousands of homeless people. We're standing here for them too. You got to remember that. And let me remind you that you sit here today and you know how far that the unions in this great country of America built this country so we all could be proud. Don't ever be ashamed. Don't ever be ashamed to say that you are a union member. But I'm here today to tell you also, those 9 people, those 9 souls, we're to see that they did not die in vain. And I'm going to ask everybody for a moment to stand up. Stand up. Everybody, please. Those 9 souls that was lost in the church, that we should never, ever forget them. Because now they've gone down in history. I want to tell everybody this. Senator Clemente Pinckney, when he first ran for office, he came to my house and we prayed. This man had a big heart, like all the other 8. And just to say he was a preacher is not even enough. He was a public servant. He was a man of God. Now, I'm going to ask everybody to stand in a moment of silence for the Mother Emanuel 9. Thank you. In closing, the flag agenda suppresses the right of workers to organize, the right of workers for a living wage, a safe workplace, a healthy environment. The flag agenda, it impoverishes poor white workers by pitting them against poor black workers. Right. Surely you have to know this. If this institution behind me, which you've duly elected us to serve, means anything to you, then you have to be the first to know you're the power. We work for you. It's not about mayors. It's not about senators. It's not about the governor. It's about what God has ordained, and he saw fit to ordain this day, Teddy Pryor. He saw this day. This day was already marked and ordained by my God. Now, everybody, repeat after me. Bring it down. 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 Bring it down.
Let's give Brother Gilliard a hand clap of praise. I'm going to ask now if the mayor of Columbia, South Carolina, the former president of the Youth and College Division of the NAACP, who marched in Myrtle Beach against 3,000 Confederate flags, Hilton Head with Bishop Adams and, at that time, Human Affairs Commissioner Jim Clyburn, Dr. William F. Gibson, known as Doc, yours truly, and hundreds of us. We've been at this a long time. And yesterday, when I looked into the governor's face and heard her use my own words, she said, whatever's in front of the State House should represent all the people. And that flag does not represent all the people. The governor said something amazing. It has no place in the future of South Carolina. And since the future is where we plan to live, I'm so glad that the flag is going to stay where it is in the past and not go with me in the future. And so I ask now if you would welcome the Honorable Stephen Benjamin, the mayor of the city of Columbia. Hear ye him. Welcome him.
I want to thank Dr. Rivers. As he referenced, he, along with Charles White and Bill Gibson, got me involved in this battle 28 years ago. 28 years ago, as we were marching on the state capitol, calling for the flag to come off of our dome, marching in Myrtle Beach, marching in Conway with H.H. Singleton, marching to make sure that South Carolina could live up to its promises of being a part of the United States of America, not the Confederate States of America. My staff pressed me because I just wanted to come today to be here in support. Didn't have to speak, didn't need a microphone. Actions speak louder than words. 3 words. Take it down. Take it. 4 words. Take it down now. Take it down now. It's easy to sit here and think about 150 years since the Great Conflagration when General Sherman burned Columbia to the ground, and know that now we're looking forward to our future. What will the next 150 years do? And what role will we play in making sure it becomes a city and a state where all of our children can live up to their God-given potential with the support of their government. I thought I'd come here and thank all the countless men and women, and Dr. Rivers does a good job at doing that. We have to make sure that we remember the mother Emmanuel 9, but we also have to make sure we remember all those who've gone on to glory, who have been fighting for over half a century, the names that you'll never know, trying to make sure that we have an opportunity to live in a free and unoppressive state. I think of my friend, and all of us, we call him Reverend Pinckney and Dr. Pinckney. Most of us called him Clem because we knew him since he was young. I know that if he was here looking in the faces of each and every one of us right now, he would say that God is good. God is good. And if God is with us, who can be against us? When we stand together, not anger or violence, oppression or fear, not suffering or hardship, anguish or grief. No bullet can stop this movement. No gunshot can tear us apart. Because nothing in this world more powerful than an idea whose time has come, ladies and gentlemen, friends, neighbors, brothers, and sisters. That time is now. One last time, take it down. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down.
I am. Let's thank the mayor again. Members of the General Assembly will have to leave shortly. I want to bring all we've heard from so far in the General Assembly have been Democrats. We have a Republican who's made a commitment, and Senator Kempson has worked his way down here with us. So let's greet now Senator Tom Davis from Beaufort, that's where Hilton Head is, and Defusky Island.
Afternoon. Hot day. Clement Pinckney, above all else, was my friend. He and I both represented Beaufort County. We both represented Jasper County. We've worked together on countless issues. And with the national press on us right now, I want them to take note of something about South Carolina, because I think it speaks very well of us as a people. In the aftermath of Walter Scott's murder, and it was a murder, we didn't respond with violence and rioting and hatred. We came together as a community and we went ahead and passed the nation's first law enforcement body camera bill.
That's right.
Clement Pinckney led that charge in the aftermath of Walter Scott's murder. He took to the well of the Senate and he urged us to rise above the pain and do something positive. We have a chance now, in the wake of his death, to rise up and do something positive as well. Let me say this. There are many people in South Carolina, many very good people in South Carolina, for whom that Confederate flag is a symbol of heritage and ancestry. And that's true. And they're not racist. But it's also true that there are other people, that there are hate groups that have taken this battle flag as an emblem of their hatred. It is widely perceived by many, because of taking that flag and making it as an emblem of their hatred, to be a symbol of hatred. And I understand that it causes a lot of pain to many people in South Carolina for that reason. And one of the things that Clement Pinckney told me when I became a senator in 2009 was, Tom, it's important for you to have a core set of beliefs, but it's also important for you to look through somebody else's eyes, to stand in their shoes. That the 45 other senators in that chamber represent 103,000 people just like you do, and their opinions on matters are formed based on their experiences, and those opinions are just as valid as yours. And so, since learning of his brutal murder and the murder of 8 others last Wednesday, I have been trying to see this matter through his eyes, and trying to see this matter through the eyes of individuals for whom that flag does not stand for ancestry or heritage, for whom it is a painful reminder of a shameful part of our nation's history. And for that reason, I decided to announce yesterday that I supported taking that flag down and moving it And moving it to an historical and appropriate place so that it doesn't fly in the State House grounds and it is not a constant reminder of many people of the pain. But let me just close by saying this, and I started with it, and I think it's important because the debate now takes place up in the House and in the Senate. And I want that debate to take place sooner rather than later. I don't want to wait until January. I want to take it up in July. But let me say this. There are some very good and decent people up there in that General Assembly without a racist bone in their body who revere that flag. And I think it's important, as I go forward and try to make the case, and as Senator Kinson and others make the case, that we let them have their say, that we listen, and that we then try to say, yes, that's all true, and we respect that, but you also have to understand that for many people, it does not stand for that, and that groups that have, some groups that have taken some atrocious, incomprehensible actions have claimed this banner as their representative, and we need to recognize that's a reality. Some may not be happy with it. Some may say, why did they take that flag and make it their emblem? That's water under the bridge. The fact of the matter is, they do have that as their emblem. It is for them a symbol of hatred, and many people perceive it that way. We need to acknowledge that perception. We need to go ahead and do the right thing, respectfully take the flag down, move it to a more appropriate place off the State House grounds, and move forward together as South Carolinians. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Before we, and even while Senator Davis is still here, and thank you very much, Senator, we did hear you. We will listen. We will be respectful. And we pray that you will be as persuasive up there as you have been down here. When the National Action Network was having its national convention in New York, it was the week after Walter Scott was murdered. Elder James Johnson, the state president of the National Action Network, give him a hand clap of praise, a strong brother. Along with Pastor Dixon, was one of the first responders to the scene where Walter was killed. When I left town on that Monday, we had heard on Sunday, because of Brother Johnson, Brother Dixon and others, there was video. We didn't know what was on the video. But we agreed that we would say nothing about it at the request of the family until they decided when and how they would release it. And so while we were preparing for our opening session at the convention, I got a call from the Post and Courier, reporter Skylar Croft. And he said, Reverend Rivers, have you seen the video? I said, no, sir. I heard there was one. I have not seen it. He said, you have to see it. It is beyond comprehension. It's revulsion. We have great revulsion about it. It revolts us. It'll make you sick. And then he said, wait a minute, I got to go. The mayor of North Charleston and the chief are having a press conference. And then Skylar got off the phone, and then I flipped on my iPad to see what was going on, because everything is on live now. You don't have to say you don't know. If you don't know, that's because you're not paying attention. There I saw the mayor of North Charleston and Chief Eddie Driggers saying what, to me, was not only welcome to my ears, it almost sounded foreign. They said that today we have fired the officer and charged him with murder, and he has been arrested. Then the mayor, so I called Reverend Sharpton. I said, Reverend Sharpton, I don't understand this, but the mayor just said they locked up the officer, fired him, and arrested him, and charged him with murder. I said, now we're going to ask for body cameras. Before I could ask the mayor for body cameras, he had another press conference and announced that everybody in North Charleston who was a law enforcement officer was going to have body cameras. I said, I'm about to run out of stuff to ask him about. And so I want you to know, yesterday we met in North Charleston City Hall. Mayor, somebody said something that has stayed with me. He said, when you're wrong, you're wrong. And I say, when you're right, you're right. And so, yeah.